Welcome, one and all. Today is October 20th, 2016, and this is Mastermind Call number 97. And thank you for the two people that are in the queue. Jim Gilbert, we can always count on you. For those of you that are new to this call, this is open to all of our subscribers. What tends to happen, the new subscribers show up for the call, and then you guys get out there, you get successful, you get busy, and you don't come back too often. We have a few exceptions like Jim Gilbert and Bud Thompson and Roger Lacey and Bob Faust. We have maybe a half a dozen guys who have done extremely well with this, and they're always willing to come back and share with the group, and we really appreciate that. And Jim, I'll get to you in just a minute, but please, when you get rich and famous from this, show up for these calls. We keep it right at 30 minutes, so we respect your time. And I can't remember the last time we didn't hear at least one or two great ideas on this call. So please, questions, comments, ideas, please participate. *6 and hit 1. That's probably the last time I'll beg on this call. Tim, anything you want to share with the group?
No, Bud, I'm good. Let's hear from our folks. I'm happy.
All right. Chad, you want to go ahead and tell them about the next mastery course and anything else from a training perspective?
Yeah, so you guys should have seen, I guess, 2 emails by now. So I set up, I've sent 2 out. The next mastery class is starting on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So it will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. And you can sign up by going to All the Leads or checking alltheleads.com or checking the email that you got. And we'll be closing that tomorrow at 5. We'll close that class and everybody will be registered. So if you're interested, check out alltheleads.com and look under Education and Training, or just jump in your inbox. The other thing I wanted to ask a favor of everybody, we are meeting in the next week or so. We're going to be meeting in Florida for our kind of quarterly planning, looking into 2017 and looking at business development, business improvement, and things that we can do for you guys. And for any of you who've been with us for a while, you know that our customers really drive the bus, and we want to make sure that our priorities are aligned with what you guys want to see from us. So I'll be sending out a survey, and it'll be brief. What we're going to do, we'll give you, the winner of whoever we randomly select from the respondents will get $100 off of their monthly leads. But just questions on what you want to see, what improvements, what you think we could be doing better, what you really, really wish we had but we might not have right now. So if you could just take 30 seconds to a minute and give us some feedback on what we are providing and what you would like to see us provide. It'll really help us, guide this into, in a direction that you guys want to see it go. So please keep your eye out for that. Probably tomorrow afternoon, you'll see that email.
Perfect. And Tom, anything from a customer service perspective you would like to share?
Well, nothing really today, Jim. Just if anyone needs anything, just give us an email at support@alltheleads.com, and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible.
Excellent. So we have 2 people in the queue. We got room for about 6 more. So I'm going to lie. I said I wouldn't mention it again, but *6 and then 1, and get in the queue, and please actively participate in this call. I'm looking down the list here. I think we're probably about 90% people that are new or relatively new. So there's no bad questions, guys. Please come in, ask questions, participate, share your experiences. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the first person in the queue. Phone number ending 8727, you are up.
Hi, Sylvester Mojo, Phoenix, Arizona. So I have 2 questions. One, the master class, is that once you've taken it and paid for it, are you able to participate in the future and contribute in the future master classes?
I would prefer you did, yes. I love having alumni because you can bring, bring what you learned back to the class, and it's an interactive group class. So if you want to be in this one, if you could, just send me an email, Sylvester, to Chad@alltheleads, and say, hey, register me, and I'll drop you in the class so you get all the dial-in info.
And that's
Wonderful.
A good idea, Sylvester. Once you graduate and get your certification, it's kind of a scholarship for life. And yeah, we really, for two reasons, you'll hear things this time maybe that you didn't hear the first time, and Chad is vastly improving that class every time. I think it started out 3 1-hour sessions, and now, Chad, you're up to between 8 and 9 hours over 3 sessions. Is that about right?
Well, I think we ran close to 6 on the last one. So it just really just depends on how deep the group wants to go, and that's kind of the beauty of it. If people get as much as they want to get from the course. So on some things we'll go deeper than with one class than we do with others. So
by the way,
alumni in there. So
yeah. By the way, I was super impressed with how you pour yourself out into these sessions. It's just incredible to see somebody being so committed. Thank you, Chad.
Yeah, thanks for that.
The other question I had is there any mastermind groups that are able to be put together of agents in different states, so agents don't feel like we're competing against each other, where we would be able to contribute to each other's business and on a weekly basis? Any thoughts? Anything that's in place?
Well, the Facebook group was designed with was created with that vision and mind. Some people have put together small role play groups, just groups of 2-3 people on that Facebook mastermind group. Are you a member of? It's All the Leads Mastermind on Facebook is the name of the group.
Okay, so that's where you can tap into maybe role playing or putting together a mastermind.
Yep.
Group.
So if you want to put together a call with other members, you can jump in there and post. People usually will engage and interact. If you post in there, and I think we have a little over 700 members now, and those are not necessarily all current subscribers. Some of them are other coaches and leaders from the real estate industry. They're people we know, people we've met that bring value to the group. So it's a good place to start.
It's All the Leads Mastermind.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I'm good.
Yeah, and thank you for your positive comments. But
yeah, thanks a lot.
He was already going to let you take the mastery for free, even if you didn't say that. So, but thanks for.
That's right. I was testing him.
Yeah, exactly. Also, guys, in Sylvester, the first Wednesday of every month at 2:00 Eastern, we do a role play call. And this is questions and answers. This is open forum. The role play call, kind of like Jeopardy. If somebody asks a question, we always say put it in the form of a role play. And that's a really good. I think we've done 10 of those. Those are all posted on our website, and they're posted in the Facebook archives. So that'll be coming up in a couple weeks, I guess. So probably a week from next Wednesday, I believe, if my calendar sense is correct. The first Wednesday of every month. So please come on that call. And there's recurring themes, but every time there'll be some new twist that we haven't heard before. So that's a good opportunity to participate also.
Yeah, and this is Sylvester again, I highly encourage all the agents to find a practice buddy, right before you start calling. I find that it's very encouraging for me to get on a quick call and have somebody drill me and then let me win at the end, and it just probes me to having a good calling session.
The key is letting you win, right?
Right. Encouragement.
That's awesome.
Hey, Sylvester, the other thing I would suggest is as you start doing this, if you run into a particularly thorny question or something that you haven't been asked before, you didn't have an answer for, or something that stumped you, if you make sure that you write that down, send it into support, and let us have the opportunity to advance that. I think that's one of the things that we feed our role play call with, is we try to come up with new things that people have heard and things like that. So if you do make a phone call, you do talk to somebody and they ask you a question that you don't have a great answer for, or make you feel uncomfortable, or you come up with an awesome answer to a question, either way, let us know and share that with everybody, and we'll make sure that on our role play call, that's something that we bring up as well, and that'll help us all.
And when I do, to make it more efficient, what format would you like it sent in so that you can listen in?
just send it as an email to support@alltheleads.com. Every communication with us really goes through that channel, and it keeps us on our toes because we manually look at that. We have a human being that does that. Tom is on the call, and Tom looks at all those emails and makes sure that they go to the right person, they go to the right place, and gets it done. And that's kind of our voice of conscience. So just make it easy on yourself. We'll do the work. Send it in an email.
And it could be in a WAV format, a recording type as well.
Yep. If you want to send it in a voice file, that's fine.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sylvester. We really appreciate your comments and your positive comments especially, but we appreciate all comments here. And our next guy is a frequent. He was one of the guys that I was just complimenting. Jim Gilbert, you're up next.
Am I on, Jim?
You're on. So say something nice.
Okay, I'll try to. Just don't plug your ears up. No. For the new people out there, about getting started on making the calls, I was making calls the other afternoon or evening, and this lady had called. I left a message, and she called me back, and she was just couldn't believe that somebody would actually call her back after they sent her a letter also. And she was just going on and on and on about how good of a business person I was or whoever I was affiliated with that we would actually send a letter and call to. I just wanted to share that with everyone. So you people that are just starting out, make those calls. I have days where I don't want to make them, but I beat myself and I make them, and it pays off in the long run.
Boy, thank you so much for that, Jim. I always preach that we have a few agents that, our friend Paul in Florida has never picked up the phone. He did 18 deals last year, but you can't count on the letters. And a really smart person told me years ago at the beginning of my career, figure out what everybody else is doing and do the opposite. Like our friend in New York that was on the call a few weeks ago, his first week he sent out 6 listing packages, and he said every single person he spoke to said, I had 50 letters, but you were the only one that picked up the phone and called me. So I can't stress that enough. You might get lucky and do some business just with the letters, but if you're going to live or die by the letters only, you're really going to be limiting your results. So it's so important, the 1-2. The letter introduces you, and the call makes it a much more warmer call when you pick up the phone. And I appreciate that, Jim. And I know, Jim, you're a and I mean this very respectfully, you've been a plotter. You didn't come out of the box with 8 deals or anything, but you just are consistently, taking listings every month, and you're working the program the way it's supposed to. So thank you. I appreciate those comments. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all
Excellent.
I've got for now.
And thanks again, Jim, for keep coming back and contributing. We have 2 more people in the queue. Good job, guys. We probably have room for 1 or 2 more, *6 and then 1. Phone number ending in 9933. You're up.
Hey, this is Jim Chambers from Southwest Florida. How are you all today? I'm one of the new guys that I have to make an excuse for myself. I've been toying around with this thing and haven't really started yet, and it's been several months in and haven't sent any letters. I'm just looking at the script and starting to get geared up to start sending some letters perhaps, and I guess my question is it real important to send the letters first, or if you just jump right in and start getting like this outbound script I'm looking at right here, get that memorized and just start calling folks?
How many months of leads do you have, Jim?
You don't even want to go there. Unfortunately, I spoke with Jim. Yeah, put me on the spot. I spoke with Jim before I was ready back in June, so I probably had July, August. I probably have 4 or 5 months worth of leads, and I haven't done anything yet. 0. Okay. So I'm climbing up and getting ready.
How many?
Roughly 100, I want to say. How many are here? Okay. 90, 100, something like that. And I don't know how relevant the back ones. I don't know what to do at this point. And I spoke with Tom, and we played around a little bit. But I got into this thing unfortunately before I was ready to start, and now I'm ready to roll, and I want to do this right, basically.
So a lot of them, I think the first thing you got to work on is kind of your mindset, so you don't get discouraged, because a lot of the ones from 4 or 5 months ago are going to be sold or listed. So just keep that in mind and don't let it discourage you. But I will say there are some in there that are just getting to the point of very, very, very motivated. So
maybe I should mail to the last 2 months, and that's it. The one that just came out and the one prior. I forget the earlier ones, perhaps.
I think that's probably a good idea. Mail to your last 2 or 3 months, but call all of them. I can't stress that enough. Call all of them, because there are people in there, and we've got tons and tons of experience and stories where we've listed houses not 3 or 4 months, but 10 to 12 to I think 23, 24 months was my longest. So there's so many variables in this process that people move through it at different paces.
Well, sure.
And finally get to that point at a different time. So please, make sure you make the phone calls. You might not want to, mail 400 people that are old leads, because they, you could be spending more than you need to. But I would double up on the phone calls on the older leads, and definitely just run the regular kind of the best practices of 3 letters and 3 phone calls to your last couple of months.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Okay, and I'm looking at the script for your outbound script. I'm interested in one sentence here. It says, if the house isn't a good fit, for our investor clients, would you like to see how we can sell your home quicker for 18% more than an average agent? How do you get that? I mean, those
scripts kind of survive. We wrote that for a specific scenario. And honestly, in the new version of Fast Track, the scripts are coming out. What we teach and what you'll hear in the role play calls, if you go to the Facebook group, there's 12 archived role play calls. And those will follow a certain progression of conversation. And you can get that. The best resource you have is called the Probate Seller Interview Sheet.
All right, I need to write this down. All right, wait a minute. Probate. What was that again?
It's in step 5 of subscriber resources, Probate Seller Interview Sheet. And that's a top-to-bottom progression, like the easiest flow of conversation. And we spend, in Mastery, an hour just going through the initial conversation and explaining, exactly why it's in that progression. So the goal there is to provide you a framework so you create your own language and you're not trying to memorize a script. And the result will be a much more confident delivery from you, because, as long as you know what you need to be covering, you'll come up with the right language to fit your personality. And that's why we don't necessarily follow those scripts. But if you print off the Probate Seller Interview Sheet and listen to, I'll give you the homework of listen to the last 3 role play calls, 10, 11, and 12, you should be fairly confident with your initial call.
Yeah, okay, role play 10, 11, 12 calls. All right, and one thing, I don't know if this is the right forum for this, but I'm on the website now under step 5, and it says Probate Seller Interview Sheet, and you click on that, and it's an Excel sheet, but nothing comes up. So I don't know what the story is with that. But the scripts are Word files. Pardon?
It could be something on your machine. It should be in your download folder. When you click it, it will automatically download.
Yeah, down to the bottom tray, and then you click on that, and it comes up, and it's just blank. I don't know if it's because I've got Office 07, but is it too old a version?
Yeah, well, anyways, if you can't get it to open after the call, email support at all the leads, and we can send it to you as an attachment.
Perfect. That's what I'll do. All right. So, other than that, for slow starters here or whatever, so obviously you haven't done anything yet, 5 seconds on step 1, 2, 3, what to do for best success, your opinion.
So have you gone through the Fast Track training videos and subscriber resources?
Yes.
Okay. So you've done that. Step 1 is choose a letter that best fits you. Personalize it so you kind of get your why into that letter, and kind of write down a schedule of what you're going to do. You've got a lot of phone calls to make, and it's going to take a lot of discipline. You've got 500 calls. So you need to look at your calendar and say, okay, when am I going to make these calls, and live and die by that schedule until you've made those calls and get caught up. Also in step 5, you'll see a study from MIT that shows the best times to call. I encourage everybody to prospect on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m.
Yeah,
4 p.m.
I have that written down right here from that same. I went through all that, and in my notes, funny, I got that Tuesday through Thursday, 8 to 10.
Get real clear on, get your letter ready. Get real clear on when you're going to make those calls and make that happen. And get really good with your initial, what we call the probate USP, and you'll hear me talk about that in the role play calls. Get really clear on why you're doing this, what unique value you can bring to the family, and listen to those points and those roles.
Yeah, and 10, 11, and 12, and those are all on. Yeah.
And like I said, you're making 500 phone calls to really old leads, so wear a thick skin, because you're going to get told, I've already got a realtor, I don't need your help, I've already sold it, why are you calling me now? And don't let that rattle you. Just keep in mind you're doing the right things for the right reasons, and there's a few in there. Out of 500, there's a dozen listings in there at least. Right.
I'm getting my mind wrapped around this whole thing, so I understand that that's what I'm headed into, and I'm good with that. But thank you for
and everybody else on the call, if you have leads and you haven't done anything, listen up.
Yeah. I know I'm not alone. I'm just the only fool that's going to admit it right now.
No, and I wanted to say right away, we unfortunately, people that don't get results, 90% of the time, this is what we hear. Well, I meant well, but I didn't do anything. So congratulations for admitting it. And anytime you need help, don't wait till the next mastermind call. Send an email to support, and just say what you just said. Hey, and somebody will call you back. Tom or Chad will typically call you back and put together a customized program for you. And I really thank you. We have 3 more people in the queue, and I want to get to everybody. Is there any other?
No, I
all right.
Appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you so much, and please reach out by email if you need more help.
Okay, we'll do it.
All right, thank you so much. 3013 phone number, you're up.
Hi, my name is Isaac Schaefer, calling from Tacoma, Washington. Wanted to ask about leaving messages. If first off, you guys suggest that we do leave messages if we don't get a hold of them. I'm assuming that's a yes, and I have been doing that. I just haven't had a lot of success / any success with getting callbacks from messages. So I'm wondering if you guys have any scripts for leaving a message. And then if you do leave a message on the first number and you keep going down the line and calling the rest of the numbers for the personal representative, would you leave messages on those numbers if they don't answer as well, or move on to the next lead?
Yep. Do you mind sharing your voicemail with us? Like, what are you leaving now?
Oh, man. Okay, so I read the scripts that you guys had, and then kind of made it my own. Let me go to it really quick. Sorry, pulling it up. Okay, so I say, hi, my name is Isaac Schaefer. I'm calling you from Turnkey Real Estate in regards to the letter we sent you last week regarding the estate, and I say the address of the estate. And I say our team has worked with a lot of clients in the past who have inherited properties, and in doing this, we realized that there was a need in the marketplace for a professional who really understands what your responsibilities are and has a team in place to help you settle the estate and move on with your life.
Okay.
And then I say, whether you're looking to sell quickly to one of our cash buyers or to get top dollar by listing the property, I definitely think we can help you out. Please give me a call back at my number. And I say, I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay. So that's why you don't have any callbacks. And believe me, I learned that the hard way myself. I tried to sell on voicemail, and nobody wants to buy it, and nobody's going to buy anything on voicemail. So what I learned through that, I tested a lot of different messages, and the script that has worked best, and I encourage you to pare this down, is, hi, my name's Isaac. I sent you a letter last week. I'm just simply calling to follow up and make sure you got it and you understood why I sent it. Give me a call when you have 5 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't matter if you're not Isaac the Realtor with ABC Key Realty or anything else. You're Isaac, you sent a letter, you want a phone call back. So leave that curiosity out there. And with that really brief message, it's a 5-second message versus you having to think and stumble through a long script. You know what you're going to say every time. Leave a message on all the numbers, and your callback rate, well, I mean, yours can go up exponentially already, but you're going to get calls back because they're going to go say, I don't know what letter he sent, but I'm going to call him. You're probably going to be the only person calling. So you leave the curiosity in there. Don't try to tell them everything you can do. That's for the conversation. So the only point is to get the phone to ring.
And Chad, I had a very similar experience when I tested this in South Florida. I left the simplest message. Hey, this is Jim. I noticed you inherited some property in Florida. If you're interested in selling that property, give me a call. Period. I didn't say realtor, investor, mortgage. They first thing they said when they called back is they just wanted to who I was and what I could do to help them. If they and most of them that called back had some property to sell. So yeah, the more generic, the better. Right, 100%. That makes sense. So hopefully that was helpful. Any other follow-up question to it, or you good?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Will you say that script one more time? I know it was pretty simple. I just wanted to write it down, pretty much verbatim. I sent you a letter last week. I'm simply calling to say it one more time.
Hi, this is Chad. I sent you a letter last week. I was just calling to follow up and make sure you got it and you understood why I sent it. Give me a call when you have 5 minutes, and then leave your number.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
We got two more in the queue, guys. Great questions this week. Thank you. All right, 5325, you're up.
Hey, Jim. It's Doug Young in Jacksonville.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
New subscriber. Thank you for participating.
I appreciate it. Getting ready to get into the videos and all that. But quick question. Maybe you can do it over the phone. Maybe it's in the information. I haven't found it yet. But what are some of the, I guess, common objections that you're going to hear when you're making these phone calls?
So you'll hear some of those in our role play calls. That's probably 50% of our role play is initial conversation, and 50% is objections people are getting. So kind of give you the same homework. Listen to 10, 11, 12. Those were all 3 really good calls, and we did cover objections in each of them. But the kind of the full suite of objections and scripts for those we have in Probate Mastery. We spend, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so going through a pretty inclusive list of what you'll hear. But most objections are rooted in procrastination. They're going to say, I need to talk to my insert family member here, or, well, we got to get the house cleaned out first, or we've got another real estate agent that we know, a real estate agent in the family, or I don't know who you think you are, trying to make money off of this. Somebody just passed away. And we've got real life examples of how you address those and move past them. And each one of those that we use in Mastery has resulted in multiple listings. The objection handlers, and it's kind of outside of the scope of these calls. But if you want to look into Mastery, that's probably the best place to get the comprehensive objection handling.
Chad, you call that probate quicksand. They're stuck in the quicksand. You need help getting them out. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. We have one more caller in the queue. Did you have any follow-up to that, or are you good?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
And by the way, if you have any of those objections, or if you want to come to the role play call, show up the first Wednesday in November. I think it's the 3rd or the 4th. Come to that call, and we've got the time, and that's the place for that, and we're happy to role play through those with you as some examples if you haven't heard any of your own.
Ryan, you're up, sir. Phone number 4364.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So we just went to a class here in Denver, and the term beneficiary deed came up, and the understanding I have is that somebody can assign a beneficiary's deed to a family member, friend, whoever, and that deed doesn't have an expiration date. So in essence, it could screw the entire sale up if there was a beneficiary deed out there and I sell the house and then they come up after the house has been sold and say, I've got a deed here, that house is mine. What do I understand that correctly? And what do you do then?
Hope like hell you had title insurance. I've actually never heard of that. It sounds like something to do with a trust, but it's not a term that I've heard in any of the states that I've worked in. But typically, a beneficiary will be to do with a land trust or a living trust. There's beneficiaries. So if that's the case and there are trust documents connecting that deed to the beneficiary, then if someone else purchased and closed on the property, they're going to have to fall back on their title policy to unravel it.
Yeah, I would say, Ryan, we've been doing this 5 years. It's the first time we ever heard it. So I believe that it could happen, but I think the chances are pretty slim that you'll ever encounter it. And if you do, obviously check with an attorney or a title company if you do come across it.
Well, it sounds like it would be obviously notified. They would be notified of this, and then they would take possession. It wouldn't lay out there in limbo for very long.
Exactly.
Would be common sense.
Yeah, you should know if things were done correctly. If there was any kind of a deed out there, it should turn up before closing.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
All right. Thanks, guys.
If that's the case, and just to take it a little bit further, if that were the case, and whoever's holding the beneficiary deed is obviously not living in the property because you didn't know they existed, what I would work on is just negotiate a buyout of that beneficiary deed. So go to the buyer and say, hey, let's give him $1,000 to go away. A lot of times that will get them, could get them to release it.
I guess in the state of Colorado, it doesn't have to be recorded either. So that's the hard part about it, is you won't even know it exists unless they come forward. But I like the solution. Obviously, just make what you can make happen and make it go away.
Yep.
Thank you, Ryan. We do have one more question in the queue. This will definitely be the last, so we can wrap up on time. Phone number 8727. You're up.
Oh, this is Sylvester Wojo again. Just a quick
sir.
question. Will there be a recording of this as well?
Of this
yes.
call, yes.
Every call we do right now is archived in the Facebook Mastermind group. And once we roll over to the new website, we'll have every call we've ever done archived in kind of a podcast format. But for right now, I'm using Facebook as kind of the archive. And if you go to the top right of the group, and there's a bar that says "Search this group," and you can type in the word Mastermind or words Role Play, and it'll kind of filter what's shown and show you all those calls.
Okay.
By the way,
how long does it take to get accepted to this group?
I'll check as soon as I get off the line here. So if you've sent a request, I'll clear it right now.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks.
Excellent. And if you're going to do that, we had a very high analytical gentleman one time that had started at call number 1 and listened to all 60 of them. We recommend start and go backwards because we've really come a long way over the last 4.5 years. The last 10 calls are going to be a lot better than the first 10 were. So start with the most recent ones and go backwards would be my recommendation if you're going to listen to them. Fair enough?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you to everyone who participated today. This was a very good call, as always. I appreciate you taking 30 minutes of your time. I appreciate you showing up today. I always like to end these calls by challenging everyone. You took the time to be here. Take one idea, one thought, one thing that inspired you from this call. Go out and put it into action and come back next Thursday and share your results with us. Thank you so much, guys. Make it a great week. We will talk to you next Thursday.